Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Engine House. I'm your host, of course, Candy Dancer, and today is my birthday. By the time this airs, the time it's posted, it'll have been a couple of weeks, but it's my birthday. Um, and it's a time I kind of reflect on, the years and other things and for reasons. Um, And I've mentioned in a past video, the last one I believe, that I discovered last year, I had two grandsons I didn't know about. And we've chatted a couple times on the phone and we've texted back and forth a few times. And they live out in the Midwest and they watch my videos. So they don't know much about me. And I have two other grandsons that lived close when I was in Idaho. And they now live in southern Maine, about 5 hours away. They know me, but they don't know me. So this is for my grandsons. Not going to be much about model railroading today. I will do a little update on the railroad, on what I've been doing. But this is mostly for my grandsons. So they can kind of get to know who I am, where I come from. Okay. So we'll go from there. I'm 63. I've lived 60 years longer than the doctors at Hanover Medical Center said I would live. I had some necrotizing kidney malfunction at 3 years old, and the doctors did not expect me to live. You grandsons are here because I'm still here. I beat the odds. So, and since then, I've done quite a bit of stuff over the years. At 14, I went to work for the Wolfboro Railroad. It's a tourist line that ran between Salmonville and Wolfboro, New Hampshire. And I ran on a self-propelled coach. I was a candy butcher. I sold candy bars, postcards to the tourists riding the rails. And I did that for a summer. And the following year at 15, I was fire patrol. They couldn't find anybody to do it. You were supposed to have been 18 at least, but they couldn't find anybody that could do it or wanted to do it because it was a job you did if it wasn't raining. So I took it over. I rode a speeder, a little crew speeder, a couple of miles behind the steam engine and the coaches, and put out any fires that the cinder box dropped from the little steam locomotive, or somebody flicked a cigarette out the window and started a little fire. I'd get there before it got big and put it out. I had a couple of Indian tanks, that's what they were called, and spray, warm on your back. These were sitting near me on the speeder, and I could just grab one and put the fire out. So that's what I did. That's what got me into model railroading. I was interested in trains, and my first layout was just a flat piece of plywood on a couple of sawhorses and ovals, and I think I had a couple of turnouts and some HO scale buildings. That was about it. I didn't know anything about anything. I had no clue about detailing or any of that stuff. Okay. Then at 17, I joined the Navy, and I turned 18 in boot camp. And I went to boot camp in Great Lakes, Illinois. From there, went to Orlando for what's called TMA school, Torpedoman's Mate A school. Learned about the Mark 46 torpedo. Served aboard various commands. My first one, I've got a picture hanging here. I've talked about it in the past. It's the USS Yosemite, AD 19. And then later, I re-enlisted. They sent me back to Orlando to TMC school, where I actually learned about the inside of the torpedo, took them apart, maintenance, rebuilding, exercise shots versus warheads, the whole thing. And that's what I did for about 10 years. And found myself as a single parent. So the Navy handed me a discharge, said, here you go. And from there, I started driving truck. My mother found herself unemployed about the same time, so she took over raising my kids. And I went on the road. And I've done 25 years of truck driving, mostly heavy haul, flatbed, step deck, detach, high, wide, heavy, tall, long. I've hauled it at one point in time or another, all over the lower 48 continuous states. I've been down to the Mexican border. I've been all the way up in Canada on the Alcan Highway, close to the Northwest Territories. I've been across Canada from British Columbia all the way to Quebec. So 2 million, little over 2 million miles driving. And after 9/11, the Navy took me back because of my 10 years of service. And they decided because I drove a truck, they would make me a Seabee, one of the fighting Seabees. So I went overseas, sat in the desert for 9 months, came back 3 weeks earlier than my unit. I was with the Naval Coastal Warfare unit over there. Then I spent 7 months down in San Diego between Balboa Naval Hospital and Medical Hold, where eventually they determined over it at that point I was 70% disabled. Now I'm 100% due to various things that have caught up over the years, and I'm 100% disabled now. So I had to give up my CDL, couldn't pass a DOT physical, so I sold my truck and lived off grid at the time when I finally quit. And I started writing books, written 7. 5 of them are children's books. One is about my first year in an off-grid cabin, and that's how I met the current Mrs. Dancer. She's also my editor in the books, as well as she does my videos. I think she does a really good job. Wrote 5 children's books, and my mother, who, and I know she'll get mad at me about this, so I'll correct it. She will be 87 this October. But my mother is an artist, and she has done all the illustrations for my children's books, as well as some for my book of short stories. So I've lived kind of a crazy life. Done a lot of things, been all over the world, been to the Mediterranean, been to Italy, been to Rome, seen the ruins of Pompeii, been to Spain, been to England, been to Puerto Rico, Cuba, training base down there. It was a training base before it was a detention center for Navy ships coming in out of the yards, out of the shipyards. Been down there 3 times and been to sea quite a bit. And came back from the war with also PTSD. So birthdays are a time when I think about why I'm still here. I decided to shoot this, and again, mostly for my grandsons, the ones I haven't met. I hope to meet them someday. I'd like to get out there and meet them. There's circumstances I won't get into as to why I didn't know they existed. Nobody's perfect. So, but I know them now, and I'm happy to know them, and I want to get to know them better. And this video, of course, is to hopefully help them understand where I came from and, you know, a little bit more about me. So anyway, enough about that for now. My wife and I don't normally exchange birthday gifts or Christmas gifts or anything like that. If we see something we like and we have the, again, limited fixed budget, VA, disability, and Social Security, that's not a lot to live on. But we save our pennies here and there. And I found something I really wanted to see from Menards. A lot of you have seen it. I did unboxing on the rolling stock. That's my grandson's. It's over here. And they have buildings. And this one is the Cripple Creek Sand and Gravel building. It was one of the cheaper ones there. Came in the mail the other day. I was going to do an unboxing, but I decided you should have seen how this thing was. I'm glad I didn't. I'd still be trying to get into it. I was actually surprised. I expected it to be plastic. It is ceramic material or something. It's not plastic. It's very heavy. The bottom is plastic. It has a place here to plug in. There's plugs. They're all lit. And there's another plug down here that's popped out right now. It's sitting inside here. I don't know where the light is. The cord is funny. The other thing is it came with a little dump truck. Quite the nice little truck. And of course, this will get a little more detailing. It's all plastic. This is going to get dirtied up and rustied up and look like it's actually been used and working when I'm done with it. For now, I set it over here, and it's waiting for me. I'm going to do a little more detailing to this. It needs a little more, needs some work. Okay, not going to leave it the way it is. One of the other things is on the diorama, the German dollhouse that's over here. For years, I looked for the person who built it. I don't know where they got the gravel that they used. Probably out of the yard somewhere. It's not sand. It's kind of a weird mix. And I could not find it anywhere. I looked and looked, and what I had in the yard out in Idaho was sand or clay shale. Here it's sand. So I bought bags of the decorative sand at Family Dollar, and I used some of it. I figured I'd color it, get it close. Well, the other day, the lovely wife and I were wandering through Walmart, and I happened to come across this. It is almost identical to what's on the diorama. Okay. Now, I've already got, as in a previous video I've shown you, I've already got the decorative stuff glued down, and I've got some paint on it trying to match the gravel that's already there. What I'm going to do is put a thin layer of this over it and then over the gravel, because some of that stuff where I didn't patch is still pretty thin. I'm going to put this down with that, as well as where the grass goes. He used gravel for grass and just painted it. So I'm going to put this down. This is just about ideal. I don't know what it is. I just happened to stumble across it in a section I never looked before, and it's perfect. So I'm going to put this down, and then I'm going to dirty everything up to make it kind of all match, and of course paint the grass and dirty it up a bit to make it match. I haven't done a lot on that. I have been too busy with other things, and I was a little disappointed in the way the gravel turned out. So I was like, this will take care of that. So I'll be going back to work on that in the coming weeks, and I want to get the grass and the gravel part done and start working on the fence, the pickets. I've got basswood. I got to find out what he used for stain. I'm not sure. I doubt very seriously he had access to stain. Probably coffee, tea. I don't know. I'm going to try a few different things. If not, I will find a stain that closely matches, and I will use that. And then I can start putting the other pieces in. I still need to take the little lean-to shed apart and fix the roof on that. So I'll be doing that in the next, little by little, in the next week or so. That'll be coming together. I'd like to get that closer to finished. And then I need to find plexiglass, build a box around it so it doesn't get dusty. Anyway, that I found there. You notice in the background, there's some pine trees back here. You'll see them over here. There's some silver ones in a box still. I don't know. I can recommend checking out Jersey Highlands Bruce is the YouTube channel. It's a little brain dead. He has a lot of great ideas for doing stuff in a small area and on a budget as well. And he had a video where he took these trees and turned them into realistic looking pine trees. So I've had probably a half a dozen videos on, or even more, on how to make pine trees. And his seemed to be the easiest. And with my hands, sometimes I'm going to give these a try. Somebody commented on one of my videos on MeWe, and when I talked about pine trees, he gave me a couple of other ideas. So I'm going to try probably a variety of stuff. I'm going to try this first and see how they work. I've got all different sizes, and of course, pine trees are all different sizes, so we're going to try it. The tree in the last video that I was using polyfiber fill on, and I was going to cover it with the foam flocking. I didn't like the way it was coming out. Not one bit. I was not happy with that at all. I took all of that polyfiber stuff off, and I'll show you the tree over here in a minute. But I was not happy with it, so I took it off. I'm making another tree. There's one over here on the workbench that needs painted. I made some different color foliage flocking, bright red. So far I've got orange and I've got yellow, and I need some bright red. So I've made some of that. It's drying over there. And I'll be doing a couple more trees, but I'll give you a little bit of a layout update here in a second, show you what I have gotten done. So if you bear with me a minute, I'll get this off of its stand, and I'll show you what I've done. Hold on. Okay, there's that tree right there that had the polyfiber on it, and I did not like it. I like this a whole lot better, the way it came out. You can see I've got another little tree over there growing out of the rock. I got a moose that a certain shop kitty knocked over. And I'm currently working on this section here. That's the headwaters of Denial. That's the river that runs through here. It's called Denial. I'm going to be doing a little more work on them, and then I'll be learning how to pour some resin water. I had to make some more ground cover to finish this area here, and I will be putting a mountain over there against the wall. It'll be some foam. I'll be doing that here in the next couple of weeks and getting that area over there finished up. I'm working on the tunnel entrance. Glue is currently drying. It's the bane of every modeler, is waiting for glue to dry or paint. I'll be doing this area right here next to the track and the wall, similar to this. And so it, and the track will of course go right out. And then I have to make a bridge over here. I had a Lionel steel bridge there, but no matter where I put it or ran the track, the train hit it. So I'm going to do something a little different. And then, of course, I have another small covered bridge there, and it's currently over there. I've moved those out of the way so I can work over here without risk. Going to be a road through here to that farm, another one here that goes to who knows where, one goes out that way. The railroad station will be here somewhere, I think. I got a question mark there. I think the station's going to go right there, the Lionel station that I have. I'm getting this area, trying to get this area done. But there's the headwaters. They're just about there. The next tree is going behind. I'll come around here. The next tree is going right there in that corner, next to that head right there. And then I'll be working on this. And again, I still have to paint this and figure out where that's going to go. And I think it's going to go right in there. So, and then there'll be, I don't know where yet this Cripple Creek Sand and Gravel is going. I'm not sure if it's going over here or on the other side, but it will end up somewhere on the layout when I'm done. And these, of course, are the pine trees. And I'm gonna try Bruce's idea and see how they come out. And I've got all different sizes, so you know, there's this size. Whoop! I can figure out where my hands are here. There's and then I've got some silver ones still in the box. I don't know yet if I'm gonna do anything with those or just have these clustered around in different spots. So anyway, this is where I'm at, and this is what I'm doing. And there's the cabin. I need a couple of figures. I found them. An old man reading a newspaper and his wife, both sitting in rocking chairs. And there's also a figure of a guy chopping wood. And I'm going to grab those up here soon and finish that scene right there. And Moose may go where he's at. He may go somewhere else. And of course, I've got the dragons floating around. And you'll notice there's one on the roof there. Of course, there's one down there. Also, where did I put it? I have a sign for this side of the layout. And I've set it somewhere. And I don't know where I put it down. It figures. I wanted to show it off. I don't know where I put the sign. Oh, there it is, right there. Put it on the bridge. Welcome to Brookfield, New Hampshire welcomes you. This is a shout out to Brookfield, New Hampshire, where I lived after I moved out of Castine, Maine. This, I'm not sure where it's going yet. I put it on a backing, put it here. It'll go somewhere here, and there'll be, of course, signs made for the headwaters, and there'll be a sign made for the mountain. The mountain is the What's a Matterhorn. Just the way my brain works. But anyway, this is so far what I've got. I'm trying to get this area finished here before I move on. And I'll be starting another building. You can see this area over here is still a disaster. I don't run many trains because I'm too busy working on buildings and other things. And I also have to do feeder wires. That's one of the things I discovered I did not do correctly. I need some more feeder wires so the train runs smooth all the way around. I'm having issues with power getting where it needs to be. So once I get everything I need together, I'll crawl underneath the layout and do it all in one shot and get new feeders. And hopefully that'll fix the issues I'm having with the track. And the trains will run like they're supposed to. So anyway, there we are. If you enjoyed the video, stuck around for after talking about the information on my grandson, giving some some of my life to my grandsons, hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. So, if you enjoyed it, please do. Anyway, I'll catch you next time, and bye for now. I finished shooting that video yesterday and realized that I'd missed something on it. So this is an addition at the end of the video here. This is for my grandsons. Now, I said this in the video, if I hadn't lived at the age of 3, you wouldn't be here. And this is true. And I'm going to tell you something. This is for all my grandsons. Okay? I have done a lot in my life. I have never limited myself. Okay? I've survived a lot of things. Okay? I was not afraid to take chances. I've been around a good portion of the world. Italy, Spain, Germany, England, Puerto Rico, Korea, over in the Middle East. I've done a lot of things, traveled this entire country. Okay? And the reason I'm telling you this again, don't limit yourself. You are here only because I survived past the age of 3. Okay? So try new things. Don't get stuck in a rut. Go and, try different things. Do different things. Don't be afraid to explore. Don't be afraid to get out of your comfort zone and do something different. I've written books. I've lived off grid. I've worked on cars. I've worked on trucks. I've worked on torpedoes. I've worked on snowmobiles and side-by-sides. And I have never limited myself, and I've never said, I can't do this. I've always tried to do it. If you try and you fail, that's one thing. If you don't try, you won't know. Okay? Now, I can rebuild a motor on a torpedo. I can rebuild a torpedo. Okay? Some of that translates over to rebuilding motors on trucks. I have done it. Am I good at it? No, I don't do it for a living. Okay? I've done it a couple of times. Worked on enough snowmobiles over the years, living off grid. I probably know more about snowmobiles than most people ever want to know. But I always figured it needed to get done, and so I did it. I've never limited myself. I've never said, I don't want to do this or I can't go there, mostly because I'm a survivor. I survived. I walked away from 2 pretty bad accidents in a rig and survived a war. So you can do this, okay? You are here because I survived past the age of 3. Don't ever limit yourself. You're going to find out. Travel in the world, I've opened my eyes. I've met other people, saw different cultures, saw how they lived, enjoyed a lot of different foods from a lot of places, some of which I probably would never eat again, but at least I tried it. So my best advice is just don't limit yourself. Get out there. You're there because I'm here. So just go do it, and don't be scared. If you fail, you fail. You pick yourself back up, brush yourself off, and keep moving forward. Okay? That's strictly for my grandsons. It's good advice for just about anybody. Don't be afraid to spread your wings. Don't be afraid to try something new. Enjoy yourself. That's what life is all about. Life is short, and believe me, after a lot of the stuff I've been through, I understand that probably more than anybody. Life's meant to be lived. So get out there, enjoy it. That's all I got to say. This will be tacked on to the end of the video, and You guys all have a great day. And I'll say it one more time. Bye for now.